When I went in to my local gym, asking to teach a class that I had gotten going at Copper Mountain ski area, and yes, it was the Club Med there, but I came and I explained to the gentleman standing across from me at the counter that I wanted to teach this class that was about the quality of what you do and the order that you do it in, because it mattered. The quality of what you do and the order that you do it in matters. And this was Bob Ferrantino's at Ferrantino's gym in the spring of 1981. And he looks at me and he says, "You mean Pilates." And so, because that word and so much involvement around and with that word, it was a transformation for me in that what I was interested in, I found a home in the subject of Pilates. The quality of what you do and the order that you do it in matters. And I had come to believe that both in how you survive in your body and how a computer wakes up and survives. Especially, the boot up process in a computer. The quality of what you do and the order that you do it in matters. And in a human form, biological form, I went into the Ferrantino's gym looking to teach what I had in my mind and what mattered to me. And then I heard someone say to me something, "You mean Pilates?" It became a significant transition or transformation. Maybe transition is the way. And so let me ask you, if not in Pilates, is there anything that you can look back on, a subject where someone said, "Well, you mean this," or you discovered that in a book on your own, but wherever a discovery or a subject came into your awareness that has been a consistent interest, hobby, preoccupation, participation, in 1980, this book came out. So early the next year that this book came out, Bob told me, "You mean Pilates?" I actually could go down and buy this book in the local Boulder bookstore, and my journey went into reading more and studying and trying to do the movements and the next thing out of Bob's mouth was, "And we have someone coming from Beverly Hills to teach that." That was Stefan by name, and he had 10 reformers he got from Kenny Endelman of Balanced Body, and started classes with two of the current aerobics instructors that worked at Ferrantino's, One of them being Deborah Colway. So in Bob's Soul of the Gym, no, see, history, I have to write it down. It's written down somewhere. But what's your history, and what all have you learned, and who all have you learned it from? And are you ready for or interested in what I consider to be major transformations that have happened for me since then? Aren't we all on the hunt for what's next and what takes me beyond where I'm at and brings me in touch with more of who I am? So that's you, and there you are in the studio. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you if you're at least willing to listen to and stay seated in my speech to hear about two transformations that I feel have been significant for me. One being significant if you're interested in how you move and how to move better, how to be better in your body. And the other one is a point of view of Pilates, one among thousands, okay, millions. All of us has our own point of view, our own simulation. So, these two things that have synthesized into what I really am passionate about and what I feel I have to share with you are both feelings. You can feel them. In the one case, when you engage in the biomechanics your body already uses and is evolved into, you can feel that when you do it more directly or at all, if you know how to listen and can sense the difference in how heavy your body is in space, with it or without it, core new tension. And the point of view, the MMP point of view of Pilates, the central statement, the beginning statement is that in MMPs, meaning Michael Miller Pilates, that brand of Pilates, Pilates is an experience. And you can explain that experience as so stated from Joe's book, and 20 years ago, my book, 20 years ago. Now this is crude and self-published and has all kinds of flaws, but here's a point of view of Pilates that seeks to explain it for what it is. And it turns out that what makes it what it is the experience. That's the why that ends up defining the what. Does that make sense? Because what attracts all these people, me included, to Pilates is the way it makes you feel, or yeah. And see, so much of Pilates is looked at as you have to do this in order to get that, but really it's getting to do this, or being focused on the doing, and all of the rest is gravy. All the rest is the good stuff that comes out of the pursuit of the way you're moving in the moment that you're doing it. It's participation in the moment that produces the results. especially over time. So, my two takeaways are, and maybe they don't seem so big, but to me they're pretty significant. One is about being able to rotate your arms and rotate around your ears and then make that happen in different directions. Pull your face away from an unwanted kiss. And find the tension from back here at the atlas down across the sternum. Realize that this oppositional rotation creates tension. And because that much of the shape is in the Cornu spiral-ish, right? I named it the Cornu spiral. I named it Cornu tension. The way the body makes oppositional rotation between axes. That's a big deal to me, and that's a transformation. And then looking through this narrow point of view that you can see right through like a telescope. The point of view of Pilates of Michael Miller starts out with the experience, saying Pilates is an experience. And then MMP is a theory meant to explain the experience. Does a pretty good job of it. So your takeaways from this speech is that the most valuable thing I have to share with you is an introduction to the way the body engages itself to move through space. And a point of view of Pilates that starts with the experience, the assumption that there is an experience to be had, and that's what it is. Right? That's a very narrow point of view, but it takes on a point of view that then makes sense in your body, and it makes sense in your thinking, in your mind. It's reasonable. And therefore understandable, and therefore shareable, implementable to whatever extent one wishes to do so. So the takeaways are, oh man, I couldn't let you go talking about Cornu tension, which is oppositional rotation between axes in the body, without mentioning the two things you get from Cornu tension are a more uniform engagement of your musculature and a sensation of alignment between two or more axes that are in tension. So Cornu tension, to me, is this mind-blowing acceptance of the obvious that the body does work this way energetically, muscularly, structurally, and in doing so, it distributes the load of the body as efficiently as you're capable of. Until you turn your body into a tuning fork and allow your resonance to actually overcome the weight of your body and you move through space. But I think I won't see that in my lifetime, huh? For now, you've got two takeaways, and you can go look on your own for Cornu tension in your own body, or try to see it in somebody else's. And with Michael Miller Pilates, you have an explanation of why Pilates is what it is. Because not only is the why the experience, but in MMP there's an explanation to what that experience is within the MMP point of view, and how you pursue it when you're moving, especially when you're doing Pilates. So you can watch reruns of what I've been broadcasting over the last 1,342 days. Only the weekdays within that. So 5/7 of that number is a good approximation of how many broadcasts I've been doing, first on YouTube like this, and then on Facebook coming up, and soon to be, I think, reaching to a new platform. So if I don't have your email yet, go to michaelmillerpilates.com and sign up for my email list. Because that's the way I'll be communicating any planned meetings that I foresee coming up. Meetings to do what? Well, primarily of my interest, helping you become a better speaker in your own right, to be able to be paid for it in and of itself, like doing Pilates, and then all of the follow-on engagement that helps you add 2 and 2 and make more money, and then further extend your profession, of your passion, for the benefit of everybody that's interested in what you're interested in. So, join my email list. All right, so, exhale to prepare. Turns out it's one of the things I say a lot when I'm instructing Pilates. It focuses on the word preparation, which is anticipation, and it ties a state of where you are in your breath or what to do in your breathing connected to that preparation. And in the eccentric point of view of MMP, you connect to then the need to breathe in, or at least the beginnings of an inhale that has its own impetus behind it. You come from an organic inspiration. That's a double entendre where one applies and the other doesn't. Read between the lines, see behind the curtain, connect the dots, practice your speech. Send me your email, or you'll be out of touch with where I'm headed, and you may want to participate in that. I would want you to. After I got done with Connect the Dots, evaluate points of view. Help yourself share your point of view. There you go. Add 2 and 2 and figure out how to do that on your own, that you lead the way with and others are eager to follow. Build the attitude now, because you may end up needing it. direct your thinking, and Geist.